Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back to Beyond the Scare. I'm one of your hosts, Danny Royce. I'm joined by my brother. What's good, Pauly?
What's up, everybody out there? Welcome.
Yes, yes, yes. We are back. Welcome, and I feel it in the air. Oh, little whore in the air. I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling. I'm excited. I'm excited to get into this scare. So, thank you for tuning in and joining your favorite scare experts as we dive into all things horror. But before we dive into the scare, so I want to remind everybody: please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know what you think of the podcast, and always, always, always reach out. We love to hear from our listeners and get any feedback. So, without further ado, we got a great movie that we're gonna dive into, a new release, and let's get into it. Polly, what we talking about today?
Let's do it. So we are talking about the newly released Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Gonna find you.
Ready or not, here I come. That should have been the theme song for Lizzo.
How funny would that have been?
Right.
But yeah, so anyway, Ready or Not was released March 20th, this past Friday, and it was basically a direct continuation of Ready or Not, the first one, and which was released in 2019. Samara Weaving reprised her role as Grace Ladomas, and we had some newcomers. We had Catherine Newton, we had Sarah Michelle Gellar, we had Sean, we had David Cronenberg, and we had Elijah Wood. A stat cast did not disappoint. Yeah, so let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I guess let's start off with the performances, right? What did you think?
Overall, the performance was great. I enjoyed everyone delivered. I didn't see one flat performance, honestly. And they brought us back to the early 2000s. I felt, watching Sarah and Sean up there. I was like, okay, I love it. Love the feels. Elijah came back. We had a whole faculty reunion. It was pretty nice. Nestor, Kevin Durant. I mean, everybody just brought it, and it was believable, given the circumstances. And I feel like everyone had their own character, their own development. No character was the same, and that's how I felt. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. So I like that's what I kind of notated. I liked how every character was different. There was different dynamics in each kind of family group. You had the brother and sister with the strained relationship.
Yeah.
You had the husband and wife. You had, the brothers. You had the son and the father and the sister and the daughter.
Yeah.
And every relationship was different. And it's just you have these elite families coming into the equation, and it was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So to kind of start off from the as we already discussed, the sequel was a direct continuation from the 2019 Ready or Not film. So we see the film open up with Grace, the house burning, her smoking her cigarette, which she, always needs, right? And then she passes out. They take her to the hospital, where essentially the game pretty much almost immediately starts. We do see her sister come into play. We do understand that relationship a bit more, which we were curious about. We knew they were estranged, but we didn't know the dynamics of it and the specifics of it. So we learned that a little bit more, which was cool. It was a little bit at the hospital. Then throughout the movie, they kind of dove into it a bit more throughout their journey, trying to stay alive, which I thought was done really well, because I felt like everything they kind of endured within the movie it was kind of like an onion, you're peeling back, it's like these wounds and stuff that we learned more about and they were encountering. So I thought that was cool too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Grace.
The comment on that though, like I also thought it was done really well, and the mixture of the high stakes that they were in, and then also kind of in family therapy at the same time, trying to do these two things at once, was really really fun to see on camera. And I thought it was done really well. Even though like arguments when they would disagree and like one would want to lead, the other would it was just really good under the circumstances, I felt.
Yeah, and I thought that's what made it really made it more realistic because
Right.
like I was saying, like as you encounter certain situations in life or death situations, and they already have this strained relationship, things are gonna come up. Are gonna be like, you never have my back. You're always
Right.
doing that. So you find yourself in those situations. I was like, that's like a real life scenario. So I thought the writing with that was really good. But yeah, so being that Grace survived, she triggered, kind of this new game where the elite families which we find out there is ahead, and that's the Danforths, who we saw, which was Ursula and Titus, who was played by Sean and Sarah. So their family, they were the head, and then you had the other families. Obviously, the Ladomas, they were wiped out, and then the the New Jersey guy, what's his name? Kevin. I forgot his family's name, but he cheated, so he was wiped. His family was wiped out.
Yeah.
So we have 4 elite families at that point, right?
Yeah.
So they were basically fighting to see who would be the new head of the council. So that's pretty much how the movie's, the entirety of the movie,
right,
to get to that point.
Thought it was like very interesting. We learned a lot more of like about the explosion aspects of like their when they get wiped out. But the Wilkinson, I think that was the Wilkinson family. I think. Yeah, so he cheated and went to the hospital and tried to kill the Grace before the game started, which was crazy. But yeah, it was wild just seeing all these families just trying to get that seat to control the world. It was interesting.
Yeah, it was. So there are a couple parts in there is a little predictable.
Yeah.
But it didn't take away from the I would say like the overall substance of the movie and the enjoyability of the movie. And I mean, it's a comedy too, right? So I mean, you're gonna have ridiculous parts and stuff like, that's so ridiculous and like whatever. It's like slapstick. It's funny. So I feel that's if you can't take away from the movies, like I guess you would say the enjoyment of a movie just because of that, because what it is, right? The same thing with the first one. But yeah, a part that I really enjoyed was when Faith, Grace's sister, when she was included in the game, she's just like, "I'm just your emergency contact."
Yeah, right. That part was hilarious. He said, "It's been 7 years. You don't know anybody else." I was dying because I felt the same way. I was like, "You ain't meet nobody."
I was like, right, what about her husband that she was marrying? Like,
it was so many great moments. And even when I told you, I sent you that text about the grenade launcher part. Like, when she, I forget the family's name, but it was a sister and El Qaeda, and then like she was about to shoot her with the grenade and went the opposite way. So many funny things that happened on there.
And then like the pepper spray, they're just fighting the air, like they can't.
Right. Which we have to dig into that scene and the whole song. What song was it? What song is that?
Turn around.
Yeah. Every now and then a little bit. Yeah, that whole segment was like just genius.
So yeah, let's start off with the game itself, right? So we know that Titus and Ursula, killed their father at the beginning because he was too old to participate in the game. So there's no way that he would win, and he wanted their household to stay at the head of the council.
Right.
So, being that Titus and Ursula were twins, they both could enter the game. So everyone else, all the other council members of this, now the 4 families, the eldest, head of the household or the eldest, enter the game. If for some reason that person died, then the next eldest would enter the game, right? So we saw this kind of play out in a lot of funny different ways.
Right.
What was your favorite? Who was your favorite, I guess, demise or part of that entire game?
Well, first I want to say that was when they even announced like that rule was like, I was like, that's bogus. That means like they have twice as much risk of getting killed, some grace and faith. You know what I mean? Like it's just gonna come again. Like you going through the first wave, now you got the second wave. So I thought that was like, that's crazy. But one of my favorite ones,
they started off handcuffs, so like they had
exactly. like right. She was like, they don't even care about you. You're here to slow me down. So that's pretty much exactly what it was, right? But one of my favorites was definitely, I had 2, honestly, because Kip Danforth was hilarious. Let's just be like, he just wanted that cousin he was like, I'm not worried about this because Titus and Faith, they're gonna handle it. I'm not even gonna have to touch that, so he was chilling the entire time. But my favorite was the New Jersey family. So like he when you left, he said, I'm giving it to my wife. He said, so you want to abdicate? He said, yeah.
Wait, that was England.
Oh, the England. I'm sorry. Yeah.
New Jersey with what's his name, Kevin, at the beginning when he cheated.
Kevin, but he gave it to his wife and she left. And she was like, I'm not even about to do this. And he said, you own nothing now. So that was a crazy one. And then my second one was the little brother, because we see him run to go sign the book, right? When it's, when Grace is coming, she's approaching, we're in our final act. And we're like, okay, what is he doing? Comes out with
yeah, he's like, he was ready. He's been waiting for that moment his entire life.
He was ready. He was waiting for that moment the entire life, which is disgusting, right? You're waiting to kill somebody and you're like 12 years old. But it's like those 2 were like, wow. What about yours?
That's funny. No, yeah. And so and to go back to your first one with the family from England, that was kind of, I noted that as a missed opportunity in the movie, because the wife, she left, right? And they never showed like her explode or anything. That would have been funny, like a cutscene at the end, like her just driving and all of a sudden like,
right. That's what I was like.
I was waiting for that. Like that would have been a perfect like ending. But I mean, honestly, my favorite part was probably the sanitizer wash part. When
oh my gosh.
And they were just Grace and Faith were just like watching. They were like, should we turn it off now? Should we like...
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I was like, this is ridiculous, but it was so funny.
Yeah, that was I mean, there were so many crazy things, right? So many near misses, what I mean? All these families, they just can't catch these 2 little brats, it seems like, right? So, well, yeah, it was such a good, thrilling ride, the whole thing. Yeah, so moving towards like more to the end of the film, gotta uncover this twist that that kind of came up, right? And the Shing family, so one, she approached Grace with this ultimatum. She's like, if you marry my son, this whole thing can be over, so you'll be able to live, and we get the seed, and let's just call it is what it is. It'll be the end of the game. But the only thing is, Grace would have to sell her soul, right? She would have to do everything that they do. All the families, can participate in everything. And so she obviously, goes to reject her request, but then ended up doing it later on to save her sister Faith from Titus, right? So what do you think about that whole thing?
Let's just talk about how toe up she got by Titus. Like,
I'm telling you,
ripped.
that was crazy. I was just like sitting there. I was like, when is it gonna end?
It's gracious.
Like, she just like in that hallway, and then that's when we see the evil that Titus. Because in the beginning of the film, we kind of saw Titus as just like, oh, kind of weak, emotional. That even the father, slapped him and said, be a man and type thing. And then we see his character arc and his transition into this monster by the end of the film that Ursula doesn't even recognize. And we see compassion in Ursula more so than her brother. And so she's like, we can't control it. So what do you think about that whole like clause in the in the film?
Well, I think first of all, I feel that because we, during Ursula's, speech and everything, she said she always tried to see the good in Titus and everything. And even at the beginning, Ursula points out that their father wanted her to actually hold the ring and take over. So I think just Titus being this person, he's always been that person. And just it comes out in certain moments. And what she realizes that once he has this power, it's going to be very difficult to rein him in. And I think the father knew that as well. The beginning, like I said, like you said, we saw like an emotional side of him. And I think that was just definitely, being like he's about to lose his father. He knew it had to happen. And, you saw Ursula as more like the content, like kind of like strong person, and that needs to be done at that point. But yeah, the twist, once Titus, takes out Ursula, I saw it coming. I'm like, okay, definitely, if she's going to agree to this, then that's what she's going to do, right?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, she had to wait until the ceremony occurred and it was official for the title of the head elite. So, it's just a matter of when it happened and then, what happened after that, right? I didn't see coming is I didn't see her basically renouncing everything. And basically having them all fight for it. I thought she would dismantle it, but I thought she would do it in a different way with the power and still hold that power.
That's what I thought too.
But I mean, I liked it either way. I thought it was what she did was good. I thought it was funny having everybody just fight for it and everything. While Elijah Wood's character, the lawyer, just kind of sat back and was like, we'll see what happens.
Right. He was like, hats off to Elijah too. He did a great job
he did.
as the lawyer. And he was just like, and he's like, this first time this ever happened. We'll see. Like he was just looking around like, okay. But it was like you said, I definitely predicted, the whole twist that was going to happen. I didn't know how she was going to do it, but I was like, definitely, once he said, there's no rules against killing a family member, then I already knew at that point. We were like, okay, I see. Well, I was hoping, I was rooting for it. But overall, the film was really well done. It was fun. I don't know, as an actor, if you could pay me to say Hail Satan that many times, but other than that, let's say we're going for it. But overall, what do you feel about the film overall? And let's get into our ratings.
Yeah, so honestly, I really enjoyed the movie from like start to finish. I thought that it was entertaining. I felt it was enjoyable. I didn't really have any. I don't think I had any major criticisms, honestly. Maybe I would have made Grace's and Faith's kind of like strained relationship like background a little bit more in depth, because it just doesn't seem that deep to me for them not to talk to 7 years, for I know she said she tried to find her to invite her to the wedding and everything like that. But I mean, I get it, and I get the dynamics of it, but I think I would have made it a little bit more intense to like pull at the heartstrings a little bit more. Because obviously they were like foster home. She left, trying to make a better life so then she can bring Faith along. But Faith just said F you and just like stopped talking to her and stuff like that. So I mean, I get it, but what I'm saying is I think I would have liked a deeper story, a deeper background. So that and it kind of begs the question at the end for me, like what happens? Because if the council was destroyed, there's no one to be the head of the council. There's no one holding the ring. Like, what does that mean? Does that just mean that it's over? Like, what I mean? I feel like there has to be who's going to hold that ring. What I mean? Does it just go to the attorney until what's his name? LaBelle finds another person willing to give up his soul for all the riches. But then I thought that happened like, if you go back to the story in the first one, that happened like while he was still alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess maybe they don't plan on continuing it, and it's just like left up to interpretation. But that's like immediately where my head went. Like, all right, like, now what happens? But obviously the explosions, they continue. I mean, it's not obnoxious, but it's funny. It's just what they do. And I thoroughly enjoyed Sarah Michelle Gellar giving us a little Buffy. So honestly, I enjoyed the movie. Like I said, I don't have any major criticisms. I think it was believable, and for me, even with a horror movie, I really enjoy when it's a believable plot and a believable storyline, and it's reasonable. So with that being said, I gave it an A.
Yeah. All righty. I agree. I didn't have any. I really didn't have any bad things about this movie. I do understand with you. I agree with you. Like the sibling dynamic could have been a little deeper to kind of just make us just care a little bit more. And then the ending was good. I feel like probably could have left us with like just a little bit more. Maybe I don't know if they're looking at a 3 or maybe like you said they're just ending it. Either way, I feel like they could have just put a little cherry on top. I know we did get to see Mr. LaBelle, which is a play on Baal the demon. So we did, that was kind of cool to see shown at the end and like everything. But where does it go? What happens now? Which was interesting. So, but I do want to say, so Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 76%. Everywhere across the board is 3.5 out of 5 stars. So everyone received it. The biggest critics I saw, I'm sorry, was some people didn't really like how Grace seemed like this war veteran when the incidents of the first film happened so fresh. So they were like, it just seemed like she just was this, this has been going, she's this Laurie Strode, Sidney Prescott has been going through for years when it just happened. So they kind of, I saw a little flat, scratch back on that one. So, which, I get what they're saying, but at the same time, we saw her in the first film, like just snap into survival Rambo mode. So, I mean, like, I felt like that's exactly what needed to be done on this one, especially with her sister being involved. Like she has no time to think about, other stuff. So with that being said, overall, I would say A as well.
Yeah. And just to kind of piggyback on what you said on that, with that criticism, like you said, I get it, but I also don't, because I feel like, if you look at situations like, Sidney Prescott, Laurie Strode, and everything like that, it's a completely different animal. You have a situation where, you're marrying this individual. You think it's all happy-go-lucky. You're getting a new family. And then you find out you're playing a game and you're literally being chased and tortured in a compound. So it's not like an open universe, right? I mean, it's very difficult for her she couldn't even escape the house. So she literally had to become this, like you, I mean, if you want to use that term, war veteran, she
Yeah.
literally had to become this person. I mean, I think it's realistic. I think if you put any of our final girls in a situation like that, Sydney Prescott especially, I feel like over a short period of time, she would have become the person that we saw in the sequel. You
Right.
know, and then you
Right.
saw at the beginning, you know, when you said it was the Watkins, I think the Watkins family.
Yeah, the Watkinson.
Yeah, when he shot the police officer that was going to
Oh my
question,
God.
you know, she's like, oh, I can't believe this is happening again. You know,
Right.
so you see her like scared and like kind of like not again, and like, but she goes into survivor mode, and like you said, now she has her little sister involved, so she has to be this person. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like, you know, it's basically like fight or die. You know what I mean? In this situation, it's not like, you know, it's a very like crazy situation because you have these four families who multiple people are coming after you in those families to kill you. So like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? You can't like sit there and hide the entire time and be scared, which
Right.
we saw her and her sister do a couple of times. So I mean, you saw both sides of, you know, the way you say she should have been, but ultimately I feel like it was that's why I say I was very believable and very realistic on how Samara Weaving portrayed Grace in this film. You know what I mean? And even Catherine Newton, the way she portrayed the little sister, I thought she did phenomenal. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
She didn't even believe Grace at first, and then she saw everything happening, and she's like, "What the?" You know what I mean? She's like, it's like screaming. I thought they were a good. They're like a dynamic duo. I thought they did really good together.
Yeah, I thought so as well. I thought so. No, and here lies the question, Pauly. Before we move on, I want to ask you. You know, I know this is only the second installment, but her credentials are looking nice. So I propose this question to you. Do you think that Grace Ladomas is worthy of being a final girl?
Ooh.
What are your thoughts?
All right. I mean, as we know and discussed in our, you know, previous Scarisode, the criteria of final girl as it has evolved over the years, right? I feel that Grace is a pretty good modern and iconic final girl. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Definitely, like she embodies the core traits, resilience, resourcefulness, basically overcoming overwhelming odds, right? And she made it to the final, the end, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like she definitely could hang with some of the the big final girls. You know what I mean? Obviously, she doesn't have that much under her belt, but I feel that what she went through,
yeah,
you know, especially the 2019 one, you know, that's intense. So yeah. I think so. Yeah. What do you think?
Okay. You know what? I think, you know, she can definitely be up there. You know, we can induct her in. I would like to see maybe one more installment. I don't even know how that's going to work, but but yeah, I think like she's got enough body count under her name. She's got, like you said, everything that a final girl has. She's got it, and she's got that nice, like that war veteran they like to call it, which I think is amazing. So, but yeah, I think Grace. I think we can call her a final girl.
I Faith, I made that comment. She was just like, I think you took the record for getting married the most in 1 week.
Right?
That was funny.
Oh, great. All right. So there are thoughts on Ready or Not 2. Here I come. So if you have not seen it, please go ahead and check it out. It is a great film. Really fun, thrilling, edge your seat. It's just a fun film. You know, and it's not, don't take it too seriously.
I mean, you know? Yeah, it was definitely entertaining. And like I said, like, you know, I like horror movies that make sense. I felt that, you know, the continuation, apply everything, it made sense. Obviously, the stuff we talked about, the little criticisms here and there, it didn't ruin the movie for me. So it was a good film, definitely.
Right. And as you said, it made sense. So moving on to our next segment of the theories and urban legends of what makes sense. So basically, they have these families, these elite families who, are in this occult, demonic cult. We have sacrificing, all this stuff, right? And we know throughout history this is not too far from the truth, right? This is actually things that people do. It's pretty disgusting. Snuff films, all that stuff exists, right? So one of the biggest things that came up in regards to this film was the infamous Bohemian Grove. So if some people that have not heard about Bohemian Grove, it's started similar as like the Freemasons, so Freemasons started, with just men, and they were focusing on their crafts, and it was a place to just, grow community. It later turned into an occult and various allegations of witchcraft and stuff like that. Same thing with this Bohemian Grove. So let's get into it. It was recently in the news, when reported recently, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas visited the retreat with a billionaire friend, right? So what is the Bohemian Grove? It is basically a retreat for the elite that they 2 weeks in the summer, and no one really knows what happens, right? There's a lot of allegations, a lot of things that sneak photos that were released and stuff like that. But let's talk about how it started. So it was started by journalists, artists, and musicians in San Francisco in 1872. One of its earliest members, Mark Twain, like I said, was very just like artists coming together, building community, camaraderie. It was a 2-week encampment and a 2,700 acre wooded rural retreat. And it began 6 years after send-off for an actor who was moving to New York City. So it happens in San Francisco. And who does it belong to? So the members are secret. It's 2,500 members, totally secret. Some information has been filtered out, but the club still remains like bare bones. No one really knows too much about it. Past members include Herbert Hoover, Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, Jeffrey Epstein. So it's a long list of crazy. You can look on there on the website and check it out. Some of its members, its old members, mostly ones who are dead, are out, but the members who are still there, no one knows, right? So their Groves model is actually taken from Midsummer Night's Dream. Weaving spiders come not here, right? And so what really goes on this place, right? Like I said, it's 2-week encampment. In '89, in Spy magazine, it was called the most exclusive frat party on Earth. And in 2000, it's about 26 years ago, conspiracy theorist Alex Jones snuck in and recorded some of the rituals. So as you posted there, that was some of the photos that they had, this big owl. They're doing these cult rituals that are just like really kind of crazy. There's rumors of human sacrificing. And he goes on to say what, some of the things that he heard, during the burning of the effigy. He made a documentary filled with lurid accusations about grand plots of world domination and human sacrifices. So this is, I don't know if you've heard of Bohemian Club or not. It's something that's been going on for 150 years, very secret. Do I think that what they say happens there? It could possibly very well be, right? And once you get a lot of rich elite people together, some things get twisted and disgusting and all that, as we see in the film. So I just thought it was very interesting to bring that up. And I know how it just recently got back into the view, public view, with Clarence Thomas, I'm sorry, visiting. So what do you think about the Bohemian Club, and what are all the accusations and allegations that are pointing that way?
I mean, I doubt it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you never know, honestly. But I mean, you know, there are accusations and stuff. I mean, nothing's proven, right? So
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
that's the whole thing. But at the same time, it's like there's so many like secret societies and secret clubs out there, you know, that we learned about and that have been doing shady stuff through over the years and stuff. So I mean, and not to get all like weird about it, but look at everything that came out in the Epstein files. So I mean,
Right.
you know,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And like he was a member too, you know, and like all these elite, Richard Nixon, all that, you know, his presidents, you know, world leaders, you know, people that can make moves and change things, you know what I mean? Big influence. So yeah, like you said, it's all allegations, accusations, but like those photos of the owl and the rituals and that stuff was kind of crazy. That stuff was kind of crazy. Yeah, that burning, and they have this whole, you know, all these different rituals and stuff. I'm just like, all right, so definitely Ball is there. What LaBall, Mr. LaBall. Because I'm like, it is wild. But so yeah, guys, take a look at that if you're interested in like kind of the real deal kind of true things that kind of mirror Ready or Not. It's pretty wild. Something else that's pretty wild is our upcoming film, which we're going to talk into.
Yes, and that film is They Will Kill You.
Yes. All right.
All right. You hear me, Danny? They will kill you.
It's like who gonna kill me?
This film will be released on March 27th, this coming Friday. It is a high-octane horror action comedy following Asia Reeves, who is played by Zazie Beetz, a woman who takes a job as a housekeeper in a luxurious NYC high-rise to find her missing sister. But she discovers other residents are part of some sadistic cult, sacrificing people to maintain their power. All right. So this movie's given a little bit of Ready or Not, right?
It really is.
Just a tad bit, just by the brief synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you want to check out the trailer real quick?
Yeah, let's look into this.
The Virgil was built in 1923. Today, it's one of the most exclusive buildings in Manhattan.
Hi, I'm the new maid.
With such wealth comes the expectation of the highest quality of service.
It's a lot of lux.
All 40 in there.
This building is a temple to Satan. Each month we must pay with a human sacrifice. Tonight, you are the offering.
Gotcha.
Oh.
You little shit! There has to be a way out of here.
The building was designed to be a death trap.
Our offering is on the loose. Be on the lookout. I just dropped her picture in the group chat.
Fuck you. No, fuck you. No, bitch. Fuck you. Fuck you! I don't know what is going on in here. But Ray, I am in a forgiving mood.
The fuck are you?
Where did you
No,
learn to fight like
no,
that?
no.
Prison.
Well, all right.
Wow.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know. I got a little bit of Kill Bill there too. What'd you think?
Kill Bill, a little bit of Grindhouse, Planet Terror. Yeah,
Obviously,
Ready or
Ready.
Not. Yeah, interesting. Okay. I mean,
You guys,
it looks like it's gonna be a fun game, like a fun film. You know what I mean? Another one of those things of like, don't take too seriously.
yeah,
Um,
definitely over
yeah,
the top.
over the top, right? Like, I guess they chose the wrong one that day. 'Cause, like, what is she, like a mercenary? Like, what is the?
She learned it from prison.
Yeah, learned it all from prison. That's crazy.
Good cast in here. We got Patricia
Yeah,
Arquette, Heather Graham, we got Patterson Joseph, um,
the great
and
Tom Felton,
Tom
Malfoy
Felton.
himself.
Yeah. So it's gonna
So
be. It looks like it's gonna be a fun film. You know.
yeah, it really does. Looks like it's gonna be, and then with those like fun films, right? It's you run the risk of being kind of really corny or or not. So it's like it's a fine line whether this is gonna be like, too corny or not, or it's gonna be like, a good one that we can have fun and enjoy.
And I think like by watching a trailer, to go in there like, expecting it to be, it's not going to be scary, it's not
Right.
going to be jump scares. It's like a fun comedy horror film, basically, what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
if you go in there expecting that, then you won't be disappointed.
And Zazie Beetz, I didn't really know who she was, but like, she was in Joker, Deadpool, Atlanta, Charm. Like
Yeah.
she has
I
some
remember
good.
in Deadpool for sure.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, now seeing who she is, but yeah, it should be a good, like I said, a good fun film, and I can't wait to talk about it. I can't wait to see it. We'll see.
Yeah, same. It's gonna be fun. Thanks for joining us for this Scarisode. I mean, if you haven't seen Ready or Not 2 here, I come check it out.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. It was entertaining from start to finish.
Go see it. Go see it. Enjoy it. It is, and then, like I said, it is a really good sequel. A lot of times we run into the problem where the sequels just don't quite match up. This one really did, and I liked how they kept the story going.
Yep. I'll stick to it. It made sense. It was a good continuation from the original, even though that was it's almost 7 years ago.
Crazy, man.
But I feel like that it was longer waited, but I felt it, did it justice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Justice. So yeah, go check it out, guys. And do not forget to check out They Will Kill You this Friday.
Yeah.
That just looks fun. So just go in there, expecting to have a good laugh and just enjoy it.
All right, and see some crazy, obnoxious kills. Kill Bill, what style?
Danny, where can they find you?
All right, everybody, you can find me at I Am Danny Royce.
Yeah, so you guys can find me at Alpha Boy and I1. Thanks again for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next Scarisode.
Stay creepy.